The words I am about to say still do not feel real. It's match day, Newcastle fans. It is Newcastle United away from home in the San Siro in the Champions League. Oh, God, it's arrived. I am literally just walking down to the canal that I was on last night for too long, probably. I very quickly learned how to say Jaeger bomb in Italian, and I do not feel great today. But, you know, shit, shower, shave, out the room, and I'm ready to go again. And how could you not be ready to go? If ever there was a hangover cure, it is AC Milan away from home in the Champions League. I'm going to go meet up with everyone now. I've had a coffee, you know, I've had the usual hangover remedies. Cannot wait to get over there. Where do you start? Where do you start with this? The sun, there's no thunderstorms today, which is nice. It's absolutely red hot, which, you know, on a hangover, I might actually prefer to be raining, to be totally honest, but I cannot wait to get amongst it today. So it just gives us a very quick opportunity to talk about the match. I haven't done a match preview because, well, I can only make so many videos and I'm not out here to make YouTube content. I'm out here to enjoy AC Milan away in the Champions League. So that one was never going to happen, but this is an interesting one going in tonight from my perspective, and I think AC Milan play very, very similar to Newcastle, purely as much as he's under pressure after that 5-1 defeat. He plays a high press. He takes risks with the press. They're a very pacey team. They've got Rafael Leao, you could argue is maybe one of the best left-sided midfielders in the world, best wingers in the world. You've got Pulisic, who we all know too well from the Premier League, and then you've got Mr. Giroud, who again we all know very, very well from his time at Arsenal and Chelsea. So they're a very dangerous team. I've got no doubts about it. They're going into this one the favourites. But the way you beat Newcastle have struggled against teams who've played the same way as us. And I look at AC Milan and they play very, very similar to us with that high press. That's what they're all about. So the way you beat a team like this that takes risks in that press is to be on your game. If our defence is going to be pressed, we cannot be sloppy with the ball like we've seen in our first couple of Premier League matches. We have to be on it. Botman's got to put that shift in. Trippier's got to be pristine in everything he does. I think there's going to be midfield battles there. Bruno, I am hoping tonight Bruno comes into his own. Different pace to today's game. I'm really hoping he steps it up a notch and really, really does something great in the competition that he's actually played in. This is the one that everyone wants to play in. That's why I'm so devastated for Joe Linton. I'd be curious to see what team Eddie Howe goes for. I would expect players who have been rested to come back in. I would expect Isak to start. Callum Wilson could be really important in this match if our backs are against the wall. But for two teams to be going at each other who press so hard, what I noticed in the goals that they conceded on Saturday in that awful derby defeat was the sloppiness. They do have Tomori back, who again we know from Chelsea. He was a big loss for them on Saturday, so he's going to probably, I would assume, come back into their centre-back partnership. It's a big one. It's a really, really big one. And it could go either way. We've got no experience in this competition. I do think that's a factor. There will be some nerves out there, but wouldn't it be nice if we just went out and played our stuff? We've got a little bit of confidence from that Brentford result. Let's just see what we can do. I think the first 20 minutes, silence in the San Siro after that awful result that I've got no doubts there will be a funny atmosphere in the San Siro tonight. Let's try and take advantage of that. We're the lads.
Geordie boys will drink wherever we go. Wherever we go. Run it down the way, go then. If the Geordies say go then, we're all going to Milan. Go then.
In the square now, I've just found out our apartment that I was supposed to be moving over to has been cancelled. I currently have nowhere to stay, but the beers are flowing, so I'll just have to get by. So, about to head over to San Siro pretty soon, but it is absolutely mental down here. It's absolutely class. There's about 2,000 more Newcastle fans than what there was last night. Eddie Howe's Mags have took over Italy and it's absolutely fantastic to see. Now we're on the beers. I'm joined by Brad, also known as Andy Carroll. as we were just talking about earlier. What are your predictions for no, first and foremost, forget about predictions. What does it feel like to be on the canal in Milan before we play Champions League?
Living the dream. Beers, sunshine, Champions League football, 2-0 at San Siro. What more could a guy ask for?
Exactly. But game in mind, are you hopeful or are you just taking it as it comes?
I'm hopeful, I'm dreaming. It's 2-1 the tune. We'll concede probably, but why can't we win here?
Well, they play very similar to us, high press. Imagine. Oh. Come on, you can't do that, not get in. Georgia, go on, give us your predictions.
Oh, well, I'll cover them up.
She got it out, covering them up.
Don't edit that out.
3-1.
I'll be editing nothing out.
3-1 the tune.
First scorer?
Isaac.
First scorer?
Isaac again. Give me a striker from Sweden.
Lots of Isaac talk, I like it. Hey.
Quick on the break or down the middle.
And I'll be panning around in a second, don't you worry. Go on, predictions.
I'll go for 3-1 as well.
3-1 as well, and first scorer?
Gordon.
Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice to be chanting that chant after he scored first? Well, we're going to continue drinking, we're going to have a at San Siro soon. Up the mags! We've taken over the train station. It's absolutely incredible. Haven't even got there yet. The noise is incredible. These locals haven't got a Scooby-Doo what to do. Look at it. This is brilliant. This is what being a football fan is all about. I am loving every moment. Away Anyhows, Champions League match. Look at that sexy bastard. Say what you want about the new stadiums. It's all about the old ones for me, like. We have just landed outside the San Siro. Look at that little beauty. Look at that little beauty. Absolutely fucking wonderful. It's absolutely roasting out. Just about to get inside the stadium, but everything is becoming a bit real now. We are about to go to one of the most iconic stadiums in Europe. No thanks, mate. To witness Newcastle in the Champions League for the first time in 20 years. Are we Anyhows, mags? Doesn't feel real. This does not feel real. Just taking my seat. Team news is in. He's gone with Jacob Murphy, which is a bit of a surprise for some. I'm quite happy about it. I think Jacob Murphy offers something different on the right hand side. I never thought I'd see Dan Burn and Jacob Murphy playing at San Siro. Here we go. Two attacking teams. Fingers crossed. To think, a bloke on the train came over said to me 2 years ago, we were literally struggling. Everyone was thinking about giving it up. So many fans have. Here we are in the San Siro, the Champions League. We're taking it all in. This is absolutely incredible. Fingers crossed, the lads. Don't let the nerves get the better of them. Tonali, I'm chuffed he's in the team, but I'm still a little bit concerned how the occasion might be a little bit much for him. There was a bloke on the metro said he cried when they sold tonight. This is incredible regardless. Come on boys, let's put a shift in, are we lads?
Come on!
Half time 0-0. We hung on there a little bit. We did. We could have been 3-0 down, but we're not. Wasn't the greatest. There was definitely nerves as I expected. But we just still lack on that little bit of zip attacking wise. But it is 0-0 at half time. Eddie Howe's got options coming off the bench. A lot of our goals we've conceded so far this season have been from mistakes. Just giving the ball away. Just little silly basics that we're not doing right. And that's what I saw in that first half. Again, there was loads of basics that we could have done a little bit better. I think in the midfield we were okay, but generally speaking, AC Milan will be going in at half time annoyed that they are not 2-3-0 up. It looked like it was a matter of time at one point, but I'm not too worried. This is our first Champions League game. AC Milan are a very, very good team, and the most important thing going in at half time is that it's 0-0, because anything can happen going into the second half. Fingers crossed. I think Callum Wilson would be suited coming on into the second half just because he holds the ball up. Isak again's looked a little bit isolated. He doesn't like his back to goal as much as Callum Wilson does. So let's just see what they can do in the second half. I'm still hopeful, but if I'm judging what the result might be off the first half, it'll be lucky if we come out with this with a point. But you never know. It's a game of two halves. Fingers crossed. Are we the lads? Journey back to Newcastle begins, but I've got a pint in hand. I'll tell you what, if there's one thing I want to do, it's to get an AC Milan fan to say Eddie Howe's mags. Eddie Howe's mags? Eddie Howe's mags? Get up the mags, get in. Right, the match reaction for this video is coming a lot later than planned. I'm currently outside Bergamo Airport. I haven't been to bed. Unfortunately, the apartment I was booked in with one of my pals was cancelled at the last minute. So I just stayed out, and Fifi, if you're watching this, you are responsible for my downfall. I ended up having about 8 pints after the game, and here I am after a long 50-minute bus. It's currently like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, 6:30 flight to Dublin. Happy days. So, the match, it was a good point. I tell you what, I think in this group, any points we get away from home will be a bonus. And I think the fact that we were able to go to AC Milan and defend so well, and I honestly believe we were brilliant in defence today. I do. We were disciplined, bodies on the line, purpose. We were so organised, and they struggled. And yes, as I said at half time, was that first half probably, did we get off very, very lucky to not be 1 or 2 or 3 goals down? Of course. AC Milan had chance after chance after chance, and I thought it was only a matter of time, but we rode that storm. We got in at half time, and I thought in the second half, in spells, we edged it. We didn't create very much, and I know it's AC Milan away from home, but I am still massively concerned about our lack of chances created. I don't know what the connection between that first midfield three and that second midfield three, that final three of your striker and your 2 wingers just isn't quite. It's not there. We're not testing goalkeepers, and I know tonight was probably not one for me to look into that too much because it's AC Milan away from home in the Champions League. But it was a huge point. I thought there was a lot of positives in performances. I thought Bruno was so much better tonight. I thought Bruno was the Bruno of old. I was hoping he might come into his own in the Champions League. He's played in this competition before. He's a Brazilian. He'll have been embracing it. I watched him stood with the Champions League music, was playing tune, he's chewing gum so nervously. You could tell he was up for this one. I thought Sean Longstaff tonight was absolutely brilliant. I really do. I thought he really held his own. He put himself about. He's only going to get better with more game time. And I thought he was fantastic. For me, I would probably put Sean Longstaff as man of the match. Eddie Howe made changes. Jacob Murphy came in. He's not going to have much sharpness. He isn't. I don't think he influenced the game maybe how I would have maybe hoped. I thought Gordon again was very, very good, very dangerous. Isaac was really isolated, but generally speaking, attack-wise, I'm not going to go into it too much because we didn't create very much, but my God, that Longstaff chance. Jesus Christ. I almost had my pants off. Imagine if that had gone in. But hey, Newcastle fans, it's a point away from home. If we can get some solid points on the board at home at St James's Park in this Champions League group, who knows? Because I'll tell you what, if you're going to start a group as you mean to go on, we were solid as a rock there. And AC Milan will come away from that one. Yes, they'll rue the chances they didn't take, but defensively we were brilliant. I thought Trippier was brilliant, Botman was brilliant, we were organised. And yeah, those chances at the other end I think will come in time. Eddie Howe's still tinkering, he's still trying to work out squad rotation, but we were good tonight. But my God, as a Newcastle fan, I'm sat here processing the fact that I have just watched my team at the San Siro, and the San Siro for me was everything I hoped it would be. It was old school. It was just unusual. You know how steep it was. The fact you had a little kiosk where you could get a panini. Everything about it. Those windy stairs to go up and down were brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I've made memories on this trip that will stay with me forever, and it's just whet the appetite for Dortmund to come and PSG to come. But if this one's anything to go off, we've got plenty to build on, plenty to be happy about, and Newcastle United are currently unbeaten, one game into the Champions League. Newcastle fans, if you've liked this video, please drop down and give us a little likey Lou, whack that subscribe button. I've made it to the airport alive, despite the fact that the police, what happened with the metros, if anyone was on the trip, the metros, the trains were cancelled that every fan flocked to, so we had to walk the streets. We were sitting ducks for any of the AC Milan fans who wanted to have a go at us, so that was ridiculous. But I've made it back to the airport in one piece. 8-hour layover in Dublin to come, so there might be more videos coming, I don't know. I'll probably just find a cinema or something to sleep in. But Newcastle fans, Eddie Howe's Mags are back in the Champions League, and we are back with a very solid point. How are you, lad?
Good to come.